Hi guys, John Kiepon here from Nestwork Homes on the home front team. I got Chase Orsted here with Great Quality Roofing.
Yeah.
We are actually standing on top of a roof right now.
There we go.
As you can probably tell, we decided to shoot this video up here. We were doing some looking at a roof here in Belton, Missouri this beautiful spring morning. Was it like 55 degrees?
Yeah, a little chilly, but we're moving around.
It's nice. It's nice, actually. So we're up here on the roof, and we just want to do a little quick video on, big things that you look for as from the roofing aspect.
Yeah,
for potential buyers, sellers, or even just people that are, maintaining their own roofs or whatever. Just kind of keep an eye on things to look out. So you found some things on this roof here.
Yeah, that we can take a look at.
That we're going to look at. What are some important things?
So basically, when you're looking, whether you're a current homeowner and it's maybe doing some maintenance that could save you from making a call to me, just some things you can do here or there, or it's stuff that we can take care of and maybe make your current roof last a little longer. If you're a buyer, typically your inspector is going to pick up some of these, or I can do it for you, or your real estate agent. But we're just going to go over some quality issues. So typically, almost all of them, unfortunately, have to do with installation. We all use those air, basically the air hammers, just air nailers, jamming them in there. Sometimes they go a little too deep. Sometimes they don't sink quite enough. Sometimes they're at an angle. And we'll get you a picture of one of those as far as a breakdown on what happens there. But just a couple deteriorations. So usually installation would be number one. And then number two is just going to be on the materials. They're getting older. Are they repairable? So one we won't be able to get a picture of from here is we go right onto the basically the gutter apron right on the side of your house. You have access from a ladder, and we just want to check the layers. Sometimes there's one thing of shingles, and then you're going to see the board underneath. You're good. We can make a repair there. Sometimes you have that old school roof, that wood shake underneath. When you go do repairs on top of a wood shake, it gets a little more difficult to guarantee that the repair will last. So same thing when you have several shingles stacked on top of each other. So whether you're a current homeowner or whether this is a house you're about to buy, just know that you're going to have some expense coming down the road if that's the case. So if you will, John, I'll go over here to one of our first ones. We have some scarring just from a former tree or debris, something like that, made a pretty big hole that over time can get pretty bad. So we'll head over. All right, cool. So right here, just some basic scarring. So the good news is that you didn't do anything to deserve this. That is just something that has come in here and hit it pretty hard. However, we see that it's broken the mat. So you have the granules here on top, kind of like the tiny stones. Then you see that shiny stuff, that's actually fiberglass. And then the black, and we call that the mat. When you have a break in the mat, at that point, water gets in, sets, and goes down. Water gets in, sets, and goes down. Now, eventually what happens is the integrity of your decking is going to be compromised. That becomes a little bit more of an expensive repair. So what we'll do is when you notice these, if you're ever going to walk a roof or have somebody walk it for you, maintenance-wise, you just take care of these before they become a bigger problem. I'll go into a little bit of the ice when we move just up here. So we're going to go right next to nails, exposed versus sealed. So I'm going to poke it up here. Right now, that's your roofing vent, so it just helps your attic breathe. When you come on installations, a lot of your home inspectors, you have the soffits at the bottom. That's underneath the roof over there on the gutter edge. And these at the top let the air out. So whether it's the roof gets too hot or too cold, you can have blisters that pop up, but that's what these guys are for. You want to make sure you have enough. We have a little bit of a math figure for you. If you're a mathematician, you'll love it. If you're not, just give us a call. We'll take a look at it. No big deal. But right here, this is an exposed nail. Typically what you'll want to do, so a little bit of shade tree in. It looks like someone had attempted a couple like, what did you call them, tar. Try to tar those up, but get some sealant. And you want to make sure all these are covered. That'll last about a year. So maintenance-wise, you want to keep those covered, because what happens, we were talking about ice earlier, is these nails, basically, it gets wet, say snow or ice kind of build up and they stay on the roof. They melt, but melt just a little bit and they freeze. Well, then water expands and it's down in to where that nail is setting, and then it expands the wood around it, and then it melts and goes down, and then it goes, more water gets on there, snow, ice, like we had, what was it, snow and ice every Thursday for 3 out of 4 weeks down here.
Yeah, we did.
When that happens, basically the snow comes, it melts just a little bit, then it refreezes overnight, expands the wood, More snow comes the next week, goes into the now larger hole, goes in there, expands, and now you have starting to have a leak. Now, most of the time in roofs, it's going to leak through here and go into your attic and get into the insulation. And most of the time, it's going to evaporate before it gets to your actual roof. So you could have an active leak for a while before you even notice the stains on your ceiling. So again, maintenance-wise, or just having it inspected before you buy it, just a couple key things when we see exposed nails. So you want to get those covered, all right?
So you said that that sealant lasts about a year, so that needs to be probably maintenance more often than the average person actually even thinks about.
Yeah, it's true. A lot of the temporary repairs, some people will go like, well, should I have that whole place redone, or can I stay on it? With a lot of the landlords that we work with, cash flow is very important. You can make sure that you properly maintain the roof by just keeping up on the sealant, and then some of the boots. We're going to be showing these to you guys next. But just maintenance-wise, if you keep all your nails sealed and the shingles down, you can get a lot more life out of your roof before you have to come see me. And we're in the Midwest. Typically, about every 8 years, we're going to have a giant hailstorm anyway, and I'd love for you to call me then, but we can do roofs whether there's a hailstorm or not. It just kind of depends on what you guys are after. So let's go down to the boot down here. Okay, so we got 2 boots. And if we get close, I'll get out of the sun here so you can kind of see the reflection. So right here, they call this soft metal, okay? And that's actual hail damage. But then if we look at the shingle, we're not seeing that dipped hail damage where it's like the granules would be missing, and then there you can almost put your thumb in it, so like almost a dish. So similar to this. So hail has hit the roof, but it did not damage the shingle. So it's not quite time to call your adjuster yet. All right, so again, if we were quizzing you earlier, we do have exposed nails, so we need to get those covered. But as far as the rubber portion of the boot, that's looking good. It's all sealed up and not broken up. And right here, we'll look at one that definitely needs to be replaced, okay? So we got a 3-inch boot, but the problem is that the water just goes right in, okay? So we want to get this one replaced. And as far as maintenance-wise, it's something that doesn't break the bank. Some guys, if the roof is low and the pitch is not too much, it's something you can actually YouTube and get taken care of pretty quick. Or you give me a call and we'll get it done quick for you. Another thing about these PVC pipe jacks, these are meant to let air out, not necessarily to hold water. So if you have a leak that doesn't make sense, sometimes these will go down and then take a 90-degree turn. At that 90, rain keeps coming in here and it sets at that 90 and it can drip and cause a leak or a stain in your ceiling, but it doesn't necessarily match up with what's up on the roof. If you have attic access, you can see where these things bend. Simple solution, you can just grab, we call them candy canes or shepherd staff, but basically just turn this thing directly over, and now, it can breathe out, but no rain gets in. So just a couple things on pipe jacks. And as far as the shingles, I've got one more area I want to show you just over here. Okay, so this is called zippering, okay? So if we're looking, it just keeps going, right? So, and it'll keep doing that all the way up the roof. So zippering, they're like, oh yeah, evidence of wind damage. Typically not. Unfortunately, again, there's just a nail. I don't know if we can get under here, John, but basically what we're seeing is, again, the nails, they've punched all the way through, okay? And then these guys start to go down. So what happened was this guy went a little hard with his air nailer, bam, 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 and went all the way through, and it's affecting all the way up. So all of these just do, all the way through. So generally there's a nice little strip that you want to hit, and there's kind of a sweet spot. And if you don't get it, it's gonna cause a little bit of trouble. And we call this zippering. Every now and then people can get away with calling it wind damage, but typically it's an installation error that then makes this more susceptible to wind damage because of installation. So again, we'll have that breakdown of the picture. Can't go in too far, can't be too high, and it can't go in from the side. So grabbing a guy who does roofing and does it well, it's a big deal. So sometimes you have a great roofing company, but then depending on who their subcontractor is or the crew, we've used our same subcontractor for 14 years since one family. So again, great relationship with them, and you want to make sure that the work is excellent. So that would be one of the last ones. And then John, if you have it, I just want to show them right here. Quality of the shingle. So right here, the fiberglass is starting to show, but it still has 85% of the granules on it. So again, this roof, although the fiberglass is starting to show, you do have some life left in it. It's able to bend. It's kind of getting there to where you're not going to want to do a lot of repairing, but as long as it's amiable and it doesn't snap, chances are you can get in there and make repairs. Only other thing you got to worry about is if you do make a repair, this roof, could be about 8 to 14 years old. If you put a brand new shingle on there, even if it's the same manufacturing color, the tint is going to be different. So you got to make sure you're okay with that. If not, could be time to give me a call and we'll get it all taken care of. All right, so I've got one more here, a little bit of a bonus. We had the ridge over here that's kind of setting out to the side. So again, if you're paying attention with me, that's a nail that went in too far, and it's down at an angle here. So when you get that angle wrong, your shingles will drop. So in this case, it's the ridge, or the hip ridge, and it's no longer going to be placed because the way they put the nail in, it didn't quite sink in, and it came in from the side there. So when that happens, over time, those will pull out. Not a major leak issue at this point, but eventually this guy's going to blow off and take off from here. So far so good. We should be good to go. I think other than that, your basic missing shingles, things that have broken apart over time, you can find. But this roof is looking pretty good as far as the actual quality.
All right, guys. We are wrapping up this video here. Chase, just want to thank you, sir, for coming out. Great quality roofing. If you guys need a roofer, I will, in the credits, we'll have some phone number and everything. We just really appreciate you getting knowledge out there. It was fun being on the roof today. And
yeah.
We really appreciate it, Chase.
Yep, not a problem. We'll see you guys later.
See you guys. Have a great day. Thanks.